Hi, and welcome back to Gladiator Guild Manager by Entertainment Forge. When we last left off, we were getting ready for our next attempt at the second arena that did not go so well the first time, so let's get back into it. All right, now it is day 24. We're about to hit month's end. But before we got into that, I think now is a good time to talk about something that, one of the things anyway, that I've been putting off, which is these trait blueprints used for learning or upgrading gladiator traits. So, let us start by looking at a person who does not yet have a trait. Now, you can have a maximum of 4. They're going to go down here. And you only are allowed to have 1 in the beginning, this empty slot. And you open up the next ones at level 6, level 12, and level 18. In particular, this one's going to be kind of important because each of these opens up a new tier and a new variety and, quite frankly, a much more powerful set of traits. So let's take a look at what is available. Now, I am not going to go through every single one of these. If you guys are interested in the game, you can definitely check it out for yourselves. Or I am going to mouse over all of them eventually, so you can, if you want to, just kind of pause and read it for yourself. The reason is because a lot of them are incredibly similar. Now, for this knight character, his main stat is strength. Now, that actually does not mean you should put all his points in strength, or even you should put all his strength and points and not agility and intelligence, because obviously as a tank he does need his health. That's not what it means. What it means is that all of the traits are designed so that for him, strength is the thing that it modifies. And if you look at the same trait for, let's say you looked at, I think, this one, whereas it modifies strength for the knight, this same trait would modify agility for the archers. Right, now, the traits fall into a couple different categories, and the biggest category by far is the stat booster, and there are like 10 different ways that that stat can get boosted. So here is an example: blocking or dodging increases strength. This is definitely more useful if you are a tank than if you're an archer, who would pretty much never, in most fights, block or dodge at all. So another variety is the anti-capitalist one. This is kind of the inverse one, where you have good stats until you build up some money. I'm not a fan. There is the introvert and extrovert set. So introvert, you get more strength if you are by yourself, and extrovert, you gain more strength as more people are around you, etc., etc. There is also gain more strength as you spend more time in the guild. That's a nice generic one that will always work, of course. This one is practical learner, gain more strength as you participate in fights. I think you guys have already seen there's a serial killer one somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. Oh yeah, serial killer, you gain strength permanently for each kill. And finally, one that's particularly interesting, Mighty Chicken. Now, this is not for a tank, obviously, as you gain a whole lot of strength. But if anyone comes within a certain range of you, you get terrored and you run around like a chicken with your head cut off for 8 seconds. Even for archers, this can sometimes be a little tricky. Now, if you do not have a trait, you can simply click on one and learn it. It will cost you some mana crystals. The level 1 ones are cheapest, only 1 mana crystal, and it will cost you some trait blueprints. The trait blueprints will cost based on the tier level of the trait you're interested in. Now, this slot can only hold tier 1s. That's the ones we're staring at now. The next one that opens up, 6, will allow you to do tier 2s, which will cost more. They are stronger, though. And then tier 3 and 4 eventually. Now, something I think that is easy to miss is just because you hit level 6 and you open up this slot, you do not have to put a tier 2 trait in it. You can put a tier 1 trait here, and if there happens to be one you also like, you can put another tier 1 trait in this one. So, I have already looked through these traits. The miscellaneous ones are things like can't be set on fire, And actually, this is a good time to show you guys that not only do you get to choose a trait, but you could also, after learning it, potentially level it up. So we will not be able to just yet. There's going to be a building necessary for that. But as you level it up, each of these traits are going to get more powerful or more versatile. So in addition to not being able to be set on fire, if you powered this up, you can't be frozen, can't be poisoned, and eventually you can't bleed and you can't be cursed. Now, I have already looked at these. This is gains XP faster. Do not take that one. And this one is movement. And this one's interesting. Young Vampire. Killing an enemy restores 25% health. Most useful on someone who is both successful at killing and ends up losing health a lot. Or perhaps someone who is wearing one of those very aggressive lose life every second universal items. That's a good combo with this vampire. There are a couple of traits that are modified based on weather. So heavy wind here, crimson mist here, and during rain here. And this is based on mana crystals that you own. Pretty useful at the useless at the beginning of the game, but as you play on, it will increase. And one that is awful handy for archers is this one right here, Adaptive Marksman. This disables minimum range requirement for abilities and increases agility by 5% each time the gladiator damages an enemy, which is going to be very frequent because they kind of pew almost every second at this point, and agility happens to be the thing that they want. Now, one interesting thing, Adaptive Marksman is one of the ones that does not it doesn't scale depending on which type you are, strength, agility, or intellect. It always is agility. So really, this is, the way I see it, this is sort of custom built for the archers. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. She doesn't have anything now. You're an Adaptive Marksman. Ooh, what's this one? Loses each time health is lost. Nah. Alright, we're going to learn it. And so upgrading tier 1s are going to be very cheap, 1 and 1 still, but in order to do it, right now you can see this is grayed out, requires building Trait Crucible in the guild to upgrade the trait to the next level. So if we wanted to up the cap from a 20% to a 30% cap, we would have to go into the guild here and purchase this guy, Trait Crucible, able to upgrade gladiator traits. And if you were to buy this, you would be able to upgrade to level 2, and if you then upgraded it so that the Trait Crucible is 2 of 2, you would then be able to upgrade your traits up to level 3. Now, it's probably a little early to be doing that, and our resources are kind of thin in the first place, and to be honest, I do want to buy a Rhino Cave someday. I'm going to hold off on trading up. So, you're an Adaptive Marksman, you're a serial killer, great. You are a serial killer, and you know what? Since it's so early in the game, I'm going to do that as well. You guys are just going to be bad boys. You know what? Let me look real quickly. Extrovert's a little impractical, to be honest. I don't know. Oh, Battle Scarred is a particularly interesting one. Has 40% bonus max health, but starts with 60% of the health missing. This is very situationally useful if you're ever in a fight that's kind of weird, where maybe you have a lot of healers that can kind of recover that health immediately at the start, and then for some reason you simply needed a very big health pool, probably in a fight that required a little more endurance than anything else, and you also had healers who had good stamina endurance. A very unusual one, but notable. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the boring thing. You're also going to be a serial killer. It's just very handy for your early guys to be this, because it's one that builds up over time. You need, for example, you need 15 kills to max this out. And here, what is that, 30 kills if I leveled it up. And we can take a look at this more info page. Yeah, he's already got 19 kills. Like, these guys, like, that's their job. Their job is to DPS, so they're going to be successful at that. All right. I don't know what I want for him yet. We'll deal with that later. Ooh, a threatening note. What is that?
Ooh, I found a threatening note knife pinned to our door.
What does it say?
Not sure. It's all gibberish. Whoever wrote it doesn't seem literate. But it does look like it was written with a lot of anger.
Must be the people. They probably can't write, and we did provoke them recently. What? They probably can't write? Oh, dude, that's so rude. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. You gotta pick and choose your friends. That's the way it is. Let me guess. Intellect. Another health hat. Intellect. Leather cloak. I don't like it enough to buy it. It's the kind of thing I would buy on discount, but give me another axe. Oh no, I got 2 axes. Give me a better bow. These 2 are using level 1 bows. We look like we need a sponsor. I look like an irresponsible manager, man, giving them things like that. Alright, well, time is almost up. We're not going to do anything too risky in the days leading up to the arena. This thing's going to open. I'm going to save it for afterwards, though. Alright, paid our gladiator wages, and here we go. Now, as I mentioned before, if you ever felt like you needed kind of a moment to settle in, or like if you took on a particularly hard event right before your arena time, and you're missing, you know, a slew of characters, you can always back up into an easier arena. No shame in that. You can clean up, you know, get some good drops, get a free universal item. Not the worst thing in the world. But we got 5. I'm greedy. Let's go for it. Last time these fights were tough. Oy, oy, oy. I'm gonna call that doable. Okay, 4 on 3. You are gonna be, well, you're not an actual tank, but compared to these 2, you are definitely tanky. We gotta deal with this AoA chick over here, meaning we do need to split ourselves up so that she's not ganking us all at once. Alright, you are gonna face down this guy. I think maybe I'm wrong too. I kind of fear her, but I'm not sure that's correct. And the druid second, I guess? Alright, pyro first, druid second, sure. And oh, obviously the big guy. We kind of picked you up as a temporary when he was on the mend. And again, we're gonna intercept your fireball to the face if you try to shoot her. And get you out of the way. Hopefully you won't get hit by the fireball. Come on. Fireball him. Good, perfect. And the arrows took them down, and the druid is gone. Wow, when the arrows fly, then good things happen. All right. Well, he unfortunately took a fireball to the head. Oh, this one's easy. Yeah, I think this one's easy. Now, what would actually really help in a fight like this is if we had a healer, because he does do the damage inevitably. There is nothing you can do to shake it. And these guys are not going to have much function at all because we're just going to shoot around them and leave them for the end. But he is very dangerous. We are going to have to angle our way in as wide as we can. So, 13. It doesn't matter between you two. I guess we'll say you have more health, so you're last. You're first. And just a quick note, in case you're not aware, you don't have to grab this little bar in the middle. You can actually just click anywhere on it, and it'll grab it for you automatically. Oh, you know what? If this were our last battle or two, I would just leave him down and use him. But it's way early in the match. This is just our second match, and we don't want to take too many risks. So he is, I am very certain, going to go after one of the archers in the beginning. So I'm going to shove him right in the face of that purifier. These two do not have a knockdown, so that means he can go for that guy immediately and it will work. Except for the knockdown I seem to keep forgetting that he has. But the axe took care of it. Alright, well, now it's just tanks, so hopefully there's enough time. Yep, our DPSer did not go down, thank goodness. Oh, and by the way... Oh. Took 13. Oh, we only did 800. We got him down pretty quick. So you can kind of see that, of course, the DPSers are going to do more damage than the tanks. So, you know, priority-wise, you got to get these guys down instantly. And 127, pretty good. 136, right there with them. You get more points because you probably took a little bit of a fireball, whereas this guy took a massive fireball. How did you live? 18. Do you have more health than that? 1868. I know why. So here's something that the stats do. I forgot. If you don't clear all, it accumulates during an arena. So that's actually the damage he took in the first two fights together. That's why he died. So you kind of have to remember to clear it if you actually want to look at each one. Oh, I'm getting greedy. I'm getting greedy. Okay, first of all, this is a snooze fest. Like, you can... pretty much any three of these can kill them. Ooh, I'm getting greedy. I want the universal item. Okay. He's dangerous, actually. He's geared up, too. If, you know, if we let our berserker near that guy, it's going to be a problem. Is there something I can do about that? I'm not usually a person who uses consumables, but I feel like this might be the time. Alright, you are going to first, and druid last. I don't think the druid says dangerous. Oh my god, you only have 600 hit points? Yeah, no, what? That's like a 1 or 2 shots. I have to kill you. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, this is so dangerous. You know what? You get over here. You go after her first. And I'm actually... You're gonna die to the archers. I'm just gonna leave that. Oh boy, oh boy. Where he goes is going to dictate what happens. In fact, in case the fireball, I'm going to swing you just a little bit out. Get a little bit of a sharper angle. And fireball the archer. Of course you did. And he went down. I was worried he would. If this guy ever went for him, there isn't much that I could do. Unfortunate. What about you guys? 15 movement is enough. I think stamina is enough. I haven't seen you run out lately. Yeah, you know what? I'll throw 1 health. I just kind of like to look at each of them as a guide for like where I'm going with them. Oh, well, that's easy as pie. Well, that's going to be our 4th and final. This is the last time we need to do one. Oh, this is easy too. In fact, I am not going to bring you back. What about you guys? Any difference? You know what? Just for argument's sake, we'll say you're last. Wait. Do you guys have a knockdown? I should probably pay attention to that. No, just a giant shield in front of you. Alright, fine. You. Help get her. In fact, stand right there. Run. Can I get you even closer? What's closest? Right here. Run there. Knock her down. I don't know how to say use kick first. I wish I could do that. Nope, you got a little caught up. And level 6 fireballers. What are you gonna do? Alright, this shouldn't be too bad. These guys don't ever do any damage. Yeah. Oy, oy. Boy, the life of a berserker is rough, man. That sucks because you almost made it through and we were done with these, and oh, just when this is an absolute piece of cake, this is a mess. These guys, if you're not careful, they can start knocking you over, hitting you with 2 or 3 long axes at once while you're down and can't block. Oh, this can blow up very fast. Ugh, fine. Spend the revive. You gotta do what you gotta do. I guess the other thing I could have done, I just could have hired another higher level one before we get in here. But if I remember, there wasn't one available. Oh well. You know what? You are gonna get in the action really fast. I fear you. Mm, 900, 500. Wow. Why do you... Okay. You're last. 900 health for some strange reason. And same thing. First, last. I'm going to actually set you back a little so that his attention is on him to start, and hopefully a second beat, a second beat before you get in will give you time so he ignores you. There we go. Got the first knockdown. That was it. A lot of times between those guys, it's whoever gets the first knockdown. That's hard. Oh, I'm glad we didn't have to do that one. That's brutal. Yay! He's kick. You and you target first. Wow, 2300. Target last. And then you definitely target last. I think he's gonna be dead by the time you run back there. I'm actually gonna tell you to ignore that guy. Yeah, I think even though knights aren't particularly dangerous, alright, fine. Compromise. Put you a little closer. Oh, wow, just X marks the spot, I guess. He's down. He's down, yeah. So tanks, the easiest thing to fight against is tanks because they're not variable in what they do. They simply take a long time to kill, but they don't do any damage, so they're very easy to plan for as a result. Yeah, he didn't get to do anything. He got gunned down in the 1.2 seconds. And, interesting. Our tank actually wins the score meter because he does double duty. He does a little bit of damage, and he takes a whole lot of it. This has to be the cumulative results of 2 fights. There's no way you can take that in 1 fight. I guess I forgot to clear it. All right, that's it. So that was 6 fights. We did 4 purples, just like we're supposed to, and we got a 25% chance here and here. Now, eventually, the number of battles in each arena is going to keep increasing until it caps out at 8. So at 8, you could do 4 purples and, for example, 4 blues, and that will give you a 100% chance of getting it. However, I would actually say the thing that maybe matters more is whether you want tools or the trait blueprints, which I've now shown you what they are. I haven't shown you what the tools are just yet. But perhaps probably the biggest thing is the question of, can you win the fight? So if they are both easy, then sure, you can decide based on reward. But if one of them's harder, I would actually just stay away from it. The rewards aren't dramatically different enough to matter. So 25%? No. 25%? No. Oh, makes a gladiator invisible during the first 5 seconds or until they finish executing their first ability. Mamma mia. Okay, now we're talking. All right, sorry, buddy. I'm just going to let you heal up. Okay, now we're talking. So, we have already discussed the trait blueprint. It is time to discuss the universal items. And in fact, we're going to look at two things. First is who is now available. We should have opened up, we had 3, 6. We've opened up the Mana Assassin. Ironic. He is exactly what that item is. We've opened up the Cryomancer, so a freeze magician. And the Drummer. Oh, I like drummers. Kind of like the Rhino. They're very similar. Both tank, AoE tanks. Oh, sorry, I'm curious. I gotta see. And none of them available. Figures. We'll turn the day in a moment. Okay, what I actually want to talk about is now that we've seen what the trait blueprints are for, let's take a look at what the crafting tools are for. Used for upgrading universal items. And to do that, you're going to need an items workshop able to upgrade universal items. I want that now. Boom. All right, so let's take a look at what this means. In fact, this is easy. You're getting it right now. Okay, this is the first time I've seen this item, by the way, but I am familiar with the mechanic of invisibility, and I gotta say, if it doesn't show, I am a fan. So, makes Gladiator invisible during the first 5 seconds of battle. So you'll notice that the problem we've been having lately is that while we do have a tank, again, he does not have the ability to taunt, so he does not have the ability to grab attention onto him. That is something that can be solved by the Drummer or the Rhino should we ever manage to buy one. So what's been happening is the computer is smartly, by the way, turning its attention to the DPSer, getting him, who has, a lot less defense and fewer hit points, getting him to be the attention and getting him down very frequently in the first couple of seconds of the match. Now, we've been lucky enough the last couple matches that we've had enough power to kind of overcome it, but it's certainly not a viable long-term strategy. What this does, as it would suggest, is at the start of the fight, he is invisible. So as long as you don't put him right in front of a unit on the front line that has some sort of AoE ability or some sort of knockdown that's based on area because they happen to be attacking someone else that's standing near him, or maybe like a fireball that comes in targeting the guy he's standing next to, then he is going to be able to slip beyond all the characters in the front line and immediately run towards whoever it is you put priority on. Now, a couple things. First, at this point, movement is going to be an increasing issue at this stage of the game. In the beginning, as you can kind of see, the battles are set up so that you're pretty much right on top of each other in the beginning, except your archers are way in the back. So there wasn't much of a need to be mobile, except for the kind of, Benny Hill moments where your archer's trying to back away from someone in her face and fails miserably. That is going to start to change eventually, with more guys on the field and with priority being a very important factor sometimes. That there are sometimes just like priority 1, 2, 3 targets that you got to take down, then movement speed is going to be increasingly a factor. But this is lovely. And while, you know what? I don't know that this is something I want upgraded because 5 seconds is a long time. He's not going to need 5 seconds to run through the line and get to the Pyromancer and clonk her on the head, for example. So I'm not going to upgrade that thing. I am, however, going to upgrade this thing. Reflects 15% of melee damage dealt to this gladiator. So if you go over here, don't hit sell, then this is how you upgrade. But will you look at that? We have no wood. Now, we can go to the trade house and buy some. We would need 20. That would be $140. But I'm going to be stingy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that So we're going to leave it at that. I am going to just kind of keep an eye next time the rewards allow me to take wood. I'm going to take some wood and then we're going to upgrade that item so you can see. But for now, we're going to clip it over there. And when we come back, we're going to take care of this Ring of Death, wait for him to resurrect, and hopefully get a gladiator we like in the new market. So hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.